So, very first tool I have for us today is one called font pairing. And you may think, well, what is that? Well, in the design world, not all fonts go together. And sometimes we've got to do a bit of matchmaking to see, which fonts work with which other fonts so they look good in your marketing, your advertising, your website, whatever it is that you're using. So if you are a bit like me, a non-graphic-y sort of designer sort of person, and you want a bit of help, then this here is an app. It's a very simple app that'll help you do it. It uses Google fonts. So Google's got a whole host of fonts. If you go to fonts.google.com, there are a ton of fonts there to use. So what this one does is it pairs up fonts together so that you've got, say, title fonts, and you've got fonts for the body of your your marketing, your website, your messaging, and it helps you to choose and pick them. So really, it's as simple as there's a button at the top there that says generate. If you click on that, it will just generate a random set of fonts that you can choose. So you can just keep going through to generate all sorts of random combinations. If there happens to be one that you like, then you can come through and lock it. So if you like the second one, which is the one that I've locked there, maybe you didn't like the first one, and then you can keep on going to generate the fonts. Actually, it's the body one that I locked. And so let's say, yeah, we like that top one there. Let's go and lock that one and generate the next one. And you can just keep going through until you find a set that really works for you. So if you click on the filter icon beside it, well, it looks like a filter icon, it gives you all of the possible characters and fonts that are actually in this particular font set, just so you can get to see, what all of the letters are in there. So very simple app, and then when you're in your website or in Canva or wherever you're going, you can just go and select those fonts. And because they're Google fonts, they're generally universally available across a whole host of platforms. And the name of each of the fonts is on the left-hand side here as well too. There's one of my favorites, PT Sans. If you click on it, it'll open up Google Fonts, and you'll be able to even do things like type in a word just to see how the word actually appears as well too. So there we go. There's the PT Sans in Google Fonts, and down where are we? Down below here, type in some text. So let's say I'm going to type in business owners smashing. Whoop. Let's try and spell it. Smashing it online. And that way there you get to see all the various derivations.
IT, not OT.
What was that? Oh, yes, there you go. So thanks, Peter. Whoop. There you go. Anyway, you get the idea in terms of be able to choose a font there and see what it's like. So you can download them from Google Fonts, but generally you don't need to. They're all available in the major platforms. So that one there is called FontJoy.com. Now, all of these links, we'll drop these into the chat box. If you're not sure where that is, you have a look at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There's a little chat, a chat icon with chat written underneath it. Click on that, open it up, and you'll see people introducing themselves in there. But we're going to drop all the links in there as well too, so that at the end of the evening, you can save that chat, and you'll be able to click through to all of those links at your leisure and go and explore them. All right, next one I have for you is an app that I use pretty much every week on this show here, and it's one that helps to frame me in the picture. So it's one called LogiTune. You can download it for Windows, download it for Mac, and it does all sorts of funky things as well too. So sometimes you might find that you're sitting a little further away from the camera than you should, or maybe you're too close so people can see up your nostrils. Then what LogiTune does is it does things like, and you might not be centered. So if I've got a little screen over here and I can move myself around, so you can see that I move, that the frame just sort of keeps moving to a position where it's a perfect position for me. Just try not to cut off my head now. Put myself back, and it's also got various fields of view. So you can put yourself back. You can have a mid field of view, you can have a closer field of view, or if you like, you can really sort of zoom yourself right in as well too, so you can just see your eyeball. So this one is I suppose, a bit of a cheats way of, so getting yourself just right in the frame. But as I say, I use this every week because it makes it just super simple to center myself, get myself in. And they've got other little things in there to be able to touch you up as well too. So, if you're a bit sunburnt, you can put a bit of a tan on you. If you've got a few too many lines, well, you can fill some of those in as well too. So that's why I'm still looking like I'm in my 20s. It's just my favorite little app here called LogiTune. So it is really, really good, really simple to use. I've actually got 2 cameras hooked up to this as well. So I've got a camera over here and I've got a camera straight ahead. So you can hook up multiple cameras to it as well to allow you to switch between them during a session as well too. I won't do that now because I've got a cover on the other camera because I don't use that one particularly much. Oh, and actually that camera, by the way, is one of my other favorite apps. It's called CenterCam. So it's a camera that hangs down in the front of the screen. Let me see if I can grab it. There you go. I probably can't. Oh, here we go. So this is if you can see that there, this is a camera at the end. And so this one here, it actually hangs down and sits in the middle of my screen. So you know how if you're looking at a screen and if you're not looking at the camera, people think you're looking down. This one here, and often we're looking at the center of the screen. What this one does is it ensures that when you're looking at the center of the screen, you're also looking at the camera as well. So there you go. There's an extra app and tool that I use. It is called CenterCam. I got it off something like GoFundMe a couple of years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago during the pandemic. But yeah, really handy piece of equipment. But of course, today it's probably a little obsolete because AI can actually recenter your eyes. There are AI tools out there that can recenter your eyes as well too. All right, so that one there is LogiTune. It's from logitech.com. It's got a big long link there. I'm not going to read it out. We'll just drop it into chat for you. Oh, and the good thing about this too is it's free, so it doesn't cost you anything. Next tool I've got, I have to thank JM, who's on the show here tonight. He is one of my team. So Lorena and JM, they're both on the show tonight. So they're responsible for making me look good out there on social media. They do a lot of the heavy lifting and work out there in the background. We had a problem with Canva this week. In fact, Canva had a problem today too, in that you couldn't upload images to it. So I think they've still got a problem with it. But we were developing some very wide banners for an expo stand because I'm going to New Zealand on Sunday to participate in an expo over there. And Canva couldn't cope with the size that we needed for these banners. So this particular app here is called Photopea, and it is a photo editor. So just like Canva or Photoshop, those sort of ones there, it is a free editor. And in fact, it's very powerful as well too. I dare say, I'm probably not allowed to say that it's at least as good as Adobe, some of the Adobe tools, but it is. And it just doesn't cost you that same amount of money. So there is a bit of a learning curve for it. You will end up having to go through to some of the documentation and tutorials to learn it. But if you're looking for a good graphic design tool, this one here it's very, very good. So, and the best thing about it, obviously, is the price point as well. So that one there is photopea.com. Well, the other thing about this too is that you can import things like Photoshop files. If someone sent you Photoshop files, then you can import that, and which has been great for me because I don't have Photoshop. I use Canva. I've got another tool as well. But if I need to open AEST files, then this one will actually do it for me as well without having to buy a fully functioning version of some of the Adobe tools. All right, next one I have for you is, this is courtesy of Elon Musk. So this is Grok, which is X.AI, and this is their version of the AI sort of language model like ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or those ones there. So this has just gone through, it's not a new tool, it's newish, but it's not new. It's just gone through an upgrade with their AI functionality. It works very similar to the likes of ChatGPT in that you've got a box in the middle to type in your prompts. And it will go out and it'll do a similar sort of job to the likes of ChatGPT. So you can run it in tandem, sort of see what the results are like. So with ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Claude, Perplexity, lots and lots of these tools out there. But be warned, this one here doesn't save your data. Well, that might be a good thing or a bad thing, but once you log out of the session, you lose everything. So that's one of the, I suppose, selling points of this particular AI platform, is that they say that they're not keeping any of your data. So if you are concerned about your privacy data, then this platform here, they've developed this to preserve some of your privacy and information. Not to say that it's not being trained on your information. So I'm not sure at the level of which it's trained with it, but it has got that layer of privacy in there as well too. So another one to add to your bag there to test out, try it out, see what it's like. So that one there is called X.AI, or to get to it directly, it is Grok.com, Grok.com. Which anyone know where the term Grok comes from? No idea? Robert Heinlein. Have you heard of the author Robert Heinlein? So he was a science fiction author back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. So he had this term in, he was a stranger in a strange land. I think that was the book there. And to grok something is to deeply understand it at a cellular level. So, if you're learning to ride a bicycle, for instance, like you might technologically know how to ride it, you might know the theory, but it's not until you get on it and start falling off it that you realize that you actually don't know how to ride yet. But and then you get to a point where you're reasonably competent, but you're still thinking about your feet going round and round on the pedals and keeping yourself upright. So that's getting towards that stuff. But when you just jump on the bike and you just head off without even thinking about it, and the body just does what it needs to do, that's the definition of grok. So Elon was obviously a fan of some of Robert Heinlein's work. So and I actually read the book, which is why I think it's pretty cool as well. And talking about books, that is our final app for tonight, and that is The Courage to Be Disliked. So I love this book because I don't like to be disliked at all. I'm a bit of a people pleaser, so this one helps me with those tendencies. And really is all about, it's a Japanese book, and in English, this version here, but it really is about how you can live your full potential, be yourself, and live the life that you want to live, and really sort of dropping any past traumas you've got, or social expectations, or your parents said you should do things this way, or school is ingrained a particular set of norms in you. It helps you to identify those, drop them, and despite what people think, and live to your full potential. So it's sort of a philosophical book, but it's got some really tangible ways of being able to apply it in real life as well too. So Courage to Be Disliked. It is on Amazon, and this is the book that I'm currently reading at the moment. So and I'm enjoying it as well too. So if I start to annoy you, this is the reason why. I don't care about being disliked anymore. And that there is a roundup of our cool online tools for today. So let's drop into chat. What was your favorite one? In fact, all of those cool online tools, they are the last entry in chat now, just to make it easy for you. So you can copy and paste the last one, the favorite one, if you like, into the chat below. So let us know, what is your favorite Apple tool? What's the one that's going to sort of take you down that rabbit hole of investigating what it can do and how it can change your life? Or it was just really easy and interesting as well too. So of course, all of these apps and tools, we will publish them in the Business Owners Smashing It Online Facebook group. If you're not a member of that, now's a good time to go there. Click on the join now, and we'll approve you in there. And of course, you can search for some of the other apps and tools that we've had in there over the past 8 years, David, 8 years of episodes that we've been running this through. So it feels like 3 though. So it feels like time's just flying by. All right, let's have a look there. Who's dropping in your apps and tools? Let's have a look, see what the votes are in. Courage to Be Disliked book, LogiTune's web, or the easy webcam. That was a random one that just came out. I hadn't planned that one. The book of fonts, LogiTune's Courage to Be Disliked, fonts, Photopea. Actually, it's a fairly mixed bag there too. So I'm afraid I'm not going to announce a winner tonight. They're all pretty cool. So that's what I like to see with the apps and tools that I've got. Well, go out and enjoy. If there are any there that you think, I should preview, let me know. It's always a bit of a mission to, find these tools, and I've always got an ear out or an eye out for some of the tools that are out there. And one of my little secret tricks, if you want to know the insider secrets as to how I find some of these tools, I right click on my keyboard on a web page if I see something that looks pretty cool, and I have a look in the source code and see, and the source code often reveals some of the apps and tools that people are using on their websites. So that is one of my little secrets to find it. So there's all sorts of things that can be revealed under the hood, under the bonnet, and I'm always tinkering and looking under the bonnet for these sort of things. And of course, if you want a hand with your online strategy with some of these apps and tools, a lot of them there for you to go and explore yourself. I do know how long it takes to sometimes get your head around some of these apps and tools and to see how they all work together, because of course they don't always just work by themselves. Sometimes a combination of tools is really helpful. If you do want a hand with it, we do have a number of programs here to help you with that. So feel free to go to smashgo.co, shoot us an inquiry, and happy to have a chat with you about that.